Consumers are generating so much data every day, every hour of every day, and that really can be a blessing and a curse for a marketer. How do you make sense of all that information? How do you cut through all of that noise? That's difficult enough, but actually consumers are expecting brands to be joined up, have a sense of who they are, have a sense of what they're interested in. That means the marketer has to refine that message. You have to tell the story at the right time in the right way to the right person. You have to personalise. You have to be relevant. That notion of personalisation isn't new. We know that something like 86% of all brands are seeking to personalise communications in some way, and that's great. But is it good enough? Are those brands using data well enough? Are they making those messages, those communications as relevant, as personal as they possibly can? Get it right and your brand will be rewarded. Get it wrong and it could be disastrous. The impression on the brand, what the consumer thinks about you. If you do get it wrong, they'll reward you, but they'll reward you by leaving you. Intelligence in marketing certainly begins with an understanding of data. The ability to understand who the customer is, what they bought from you, what they're interested in, how they engage with you is key. But we have to make sure that isn't just an intellectual exercise. You have to turn that insight into action. Create campaigns, create messages based on that insight that lead to an action. That is true marketing intelligence. The digitalisation of our culture certainly raised some very big questions around the data that we use and the data that we collect. It's not hard today to collect vast quantities of information on consumers, on devices and on behaviours. But what's really important for a marketer to understand is how are they going to use that data? Is it going to add value to the relationship that they have with the consumer? Is it going to add value to the brand? And critically, the marketer needs to think about how they use data in the eyes of the consumer. How does it impact things like privacy? What would the consumer think based on their knowledge of what you're doing with their data? In this move towards increased personalisation, we know for a fact that we're generating vast quantities of data. We're seeing so much more information and generating insight about consumers. It's an information overload. Marketers are becoming sluggish, making decisions is hard. We might even call it infobesity. None of this is easy. But what it means is, in order to get it right, the decisions you make around the investment in the platform or the analytical tools that you choose, it's absolutely critical that you get these right to make the right decisions for consumers. So if a marketer wants to break through this clutter and this noise that consumers are bombarded with, we've got to think about how we actually do it. Well, first of all, let's not forget we're dealing with human beings here. So why not take a flexible approach to how we communicate? Think about the channels that they're in, think about the time of day that they're engaging, think about the messages that they want to receive. It's incumbent upon a brand to have an accurate view of the data that you have on your consumers, knowing who they are, knowing what they're interested in, knowing what they buy, so that you can make the right decision about the messages that you serve to them. I think the most important thing for any marketer to remember as they enter into this space is quite simply put the customer first. Remember that you're dealing with a human being. Marketing is all about trust and relationships. The ability to get the message right, to personalise effectively, to engage appropriately, is what a consumer will respond to. We know ourselves, something like 87% of all consumers said they have no problem with a brand using their data to personalise messages, as long as the content is relevant. And that's what's key. Get this right, and you've every chance of building a long-standing and valuable relationship with your consumers. It's worth doing.